Music has always been a huge part of my life, how I've connected with people. It's also been a thread with my family. And together, what we've been through are challenging times. And in some ways, I think that you could call that spiritual for me and faith for me. And along with sharing our love of music, my family members have struggled with mental illness and had their challenges there. And growing up, I experienced some anxiety and a low chronic depression, and I still live with those things today. And while I don't have tardive dyskinesia, I understand the struggles with mental health issues and the support that we need to get through it. So before your story, can you share with me, what would you say to someone who is living and possibly struggling with uncontrollable movements?
There's help available.
Yes.
So don't wait to start the conversation with your doctor. And if you find yourself diagnosed with tardive dyskinesia, have that conversation about INGREZZA, because INGREZZA is a medicine that is used to treat adults with tardive dyskinesia.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about your background, Moira.
I'm a mother, a wife, a clinical social worker, and a minister. As a young woman, I got my master's degree in theology, and I traveled and worked in Latin America, which was a transformational experience. It really convinced me to enter into ministry and social work.
Wow. That's amazing. It's funny because the need to sort of connect with people and help people, I shared that same thing. In fact, when I was in kindergarten, my report card said, Carnie's not working on her own stuff because she wants to help other people. So I totally relate to that.
I've been prone to depression all my life. I grew up as a very sensitive child, attracted to humanitarian causes and spirituality, but also very prone to low moods, which went undiagnosed most of my life. I was finally diagnosed with depression after my first marriage failed. A few years after that, I met Forrest, and we got married and started a life together. And everything was going well for a while. But then in 2008, this perfect storm hit our family. A job that I really loved was coming to an end. And at that time, Forrest was offered a job at a church on Long Island. It meant uprooting ourselves from a community that I've been living in for 20 years. And it brought on the worst depression I've had in my life. I had been on antidepressants, but they weren't helping. So one day I reached a breaking point and made an emergency appointment with my psychiatrist. So she put me on an antipsychotic, and fortunately my symptoms began to lift. In 2010, as I was stabilizing, I started to notice some movements that were occurring around my mouth and my face.
Can you describe the movements to me?
It felt like my tongue was just darting uncontrollably all around my mouth. My jaw and my mouth just ached from the constant movement.
And did anyone else notice the movements?
Well, Forrest did. He noticed when my mouth movements were more visible or prominent. And he would let me know when the movements seemed more noticeable than usual.
How did you handle being in front of a congregation and leading service?
Oh, I became extremely self-conscious about my speech and how my mouth movements looked. I was worried about my job because my mouth movements made me look like I was chewing gum, which made me appear unprofessional in my role as a pastor. So being out in public, I was afraid of being judged by others for my appearance and my speech. My social life dwindled and I became very withdrawn, and I was very rarely present for my husband or my children.
How did you seek help?
Well, at first I went to the dentist because I was so convinced there was something wrong with my teeth.
Right.
Then I went to my psychiatrist. And then she referred me to see a neurologist. The neurologist looked at my gait, my fingers, my muscles, and said, you know what? These movements are called tardive dyskinesia.
How did that feel after being diagnosed?
This was about 2010. On one hand, it was a relief to know what to call these movements I was having. But I was devastated because I learned soon on that there was no treatment for TD at the time and no cure for TD. Then fast forward 6.5 years, around the end of 2016, There was a day when my psychiatrist said there was a treatment coming out specifically for TD called INGREZZA. She explained that it was 1 capsule, once daily treatment, and that I could stay on my current dose of mental health meds while taking it. My doctor explained that the most common side effect to INGREZZA was sleepiness.
Okay.
I was excited and hopeful that INGREZZA would help me at this
Give you
point.
hope.
Give me hope, exactly.
And how long was it until you experienced a reduction in movements?
My husband told me that after 2 to 3 weeks, he noticed a reduction in the movements. For me, it took about a month to feel and notice an improvement. Once these movements became manageable, I felt like I regained my life. I'm working as a minister. I feel less self-conscious about my movements. I'm back to being active in the community and enjoying our family life. I've continued to take INGREZZA, and my TD symptoms are under control. When I first had the symptoms, my tongue and my mouth muscles were moving constantly, but now my tongue feels still, and my muscles aren't always in motion. INGREZZA has really made a difference for me. In my worst moments, I wanted to be silent and just be invisible. But now in my journey, I don't want to be invisible anymore. If my message can help one person take that step forward to get help and get treatment, then I know it's been worthwhile.
I'm proud of you for being so open and being an ambassador for INGREZZA. It's incredible. Your story is incredible. And that's why we're doing this. I feel like we've connected today. And thank you for giving this gift to many people.
Important information. Approved uses. INGREZZA valbenazine capsules or INGREZZA sprinkle valbenazine capsules are prescription medicines used to treat adults with movements in the face, tongue, or other body parts that cannot be controlled, tardive dyskinesia, involuntary movements, chorea of Huntington's disease. INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle do not cure the cause of involuntary movements and do not treat other symptoms of Huntington's disease, such as problems with thinking or emotions. It is not known if INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle is safe and effective in children. Important safety information. INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle can cause serious side effects in people with Huntington's disease, including depression, suicidal thoughts, or suicidal actions. Tell your healthcare provider before you start taking INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle if you have Huntington's disease and are depressed, have untreated depression or depression that is not well controlled by medicine, or have suicidal thoughts. Pay close attention to any changes, especially sudden changes, in mood, behaviors, thoughts, or feelings. This is especially important when INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle is started and when the dose is changed. Call your healthcare provider right away if you become depressed, have unusual changes in mood or behavior, or have thoughts of hurting yourself. Do not take INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle if you are allergic to valbenazine or any of the ingredients in INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle. INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle can cause serious side effects, including allergic reactions. Allergic reactions, including an allergic reaction that causes sudden swelling called angioedema, can happen after taking the first dose or after many doses of INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle. Signs and symptoms of allergic reactions and angioedema include trouble breathing or shortness of breath, swelling of your face, lips, eyelids, tongue, or throat, or other areas of your skin, trouble with swallowing, or rash, including raised, itchy red areas on your skin, hives. Swelling in the throat can be life-threatening and can lead to death. Stop taking INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle and go to the nearest emergency room right away if you develop these signs and symptoms of allergic reactions and angioedema. Sleepiness and tiredness that could cause slow reaction times, somnolence, and sedation. Do not drive a car or operate dangerous machinery until you know how INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle affects you. Drinking alcohol and taking other medicines may also cause sleepiness during treatment with INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle. Heart rhythm problems, QT prolongation. INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle may cause a heart rhythm problem known as QT prolongation. You have a higher chance of getting QT prolongation if you also take certain other medicines during treatment with INGREZZA or INGREZZA sprinkle. Tell your healthcare provider right away if you develop any signs or symptoms of QT prolongation, including fast, slow, or irregular heartbeat, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, dizziness or lightheadedness, or fainting or feeling like you are going to faint. Neuroleptic malignant syndrome, NMS. NMS is a serious condition that can lead to death. Call a healthcare provider right away or go to the nearest emergency room if you develop these symptoms and they do not have another obvious cause. High fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, irregular pulse or blood pressure, increased sweating, or very fast or uneven heartbeat. Parkinson-like symptoms. Symptoms include body stiffness, drooling, trouble moving or walking, trouble keeping your balance, shaking, tremors, or falls. Before taking INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle, tell your healthcare provider about all of your medical conditions, including if you have liver or heart problems, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding or plan to breastfeed. Tell your healthcare provider about all the medicines you take, including prescription and over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, and herbal supplements. Make sure you tell all of your healthcare providers that you are taking INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle. Taking INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle with certain other medicines may cause serious side effects. Especially tell your healthcare provider if you take digoxin or take or have taken a monoamine oxidase inhibitor, MAOI medicine. You should not take INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle if you are taking or have stopped taking a MAOI within the last 14 days. The most common side effects of INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle in people with tardive dyskinesia are sleepiness and tiredness. The most common side effects of INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle in people with chorea associated with Huntington's disease include sleepiness and tiredness, raised itchy red areas on your skin, hives, rash, and trouble getting to sleep or staying asleep. These are not all of the possible side effects of INGREZZA or INGREZZA Sprinkle. Call your doctor for medical advice about side effects. You are encouraged to report negative side effects of prescription drugs to the FDA. Visit MedWatch at www.fda.gov/medwatch or call 1-800-FDA-1088. Dosage forms and strengths. INGREZZA and INGREZZA Sprinkle are available in 40 mg, 60 mg, and 80 mg capsules. Please see full prescribing information, including boxed warning, at INGREZZATD.com and medication guide at INGREZZAMGTD.com.